From collecting their first ever points, and dare I say it, even win at a World Cup is just 45 minutes of football. As it stands, they lead 1-0 over their fellow Arab nation, Algeria. Second half coming up next.
Hang on. I think he's going for it. Oh, he's only gone and done it.
Need anything from Tesco? Like 3 for £8 finest picky bits. Or 2 for £5 Heinz table sauces. Or 3 for £8 Tesco ready meals. Just scan your club card and watch the prices drop.
Club card accepted.
Because every little helps.
We don't have enough walkers for the party.
Walkers? In Miami?
Come with me. We cannot go in there. It's too packed.
It's too packed.
Hi, how you doing? We're having an awesome viewing party, and if you have walkers, you can come with us.
What's walkers?
They're crisps.
What are crisps?
No walkers, no game.
She has them! Trying to get the whole cart in.
Welcome. Grab the door.
Got a good feeling about this one, Roy.
Me too, Micah. Me too.
It's football. That's his job.
Get a completely free bet on England's quarter-final game. The world's gone football. Get in on it with Sky Bet.
We've always loved to watch, to be part of a moment. It brings us together, even when we're apart. Because when something speaks to us, to who we are, that's somewhere we'll always belong. There's no place like ITV.
Let's recap. The weight of that touch was absolutely perfect. And now he's in. Take a bow, son.
Later today, we have a stellar clash between Portugal and Uzbekistan. Find out if Cristiano Ronaldo and company can pick up their first win of the tournament against the first ever Central Asian team at a World Cup. That gets underway in about 12 hours' time at 5 p.m. So do join us for that one right here on ITV1 and STV. Well, it's currently 1-0 to Jordan in our game. We'll be right back after this short break. What an incredible sight there. Half of the moon then, as night has set over San Francisco. We'll get back to our game here in just a minute between Jordan and Algeria. But I do wonder, guys, what could happen in the second half in terms of substitutions? Who could come off the bench for both of these respective sides to make a difference?
Look, obviously, Algeria have got to get back into this game. As you mentioned before, it's a cup final. I really like the kid, Hadj Moussa. You know, I know Mahrez is in today, but he started over him the other day, and I just think when you need a goal, you need a little bit of creativity. Hadj Moussa, very good left foot, moves the ball very quickly. I wouldn't mind seeing him come on and make a difference at some point.
Yeah, and I think certainly from Jordan's perspective, it's about getting that balance. We saw it, they grew into the game, they were committing more bodies forward, and you know, it's just making sure that they don't overcommit, making sure they keep that back door shut because they're in such a good position. But what you don't want to do is concede ground too early and end up just defending for 45 minutes. They're at their best when they counter-attack, they get up the pitch, and they've got some really good players. So real interesting situation for them to be in. Massive second half for both of these teams now.
So in a sense, as you were then with Jordan, perhaps not too much tinkering, just kind of don't fix it if it ain't broke kind of strategy, I guess. But in the case of Algeria,
that ball over the top, wasn't it?
That's exactly what we were talking about earlier. Yeah,
that's just the only threat that I think Algeria really had. So that just as long as Jordan locked that up and maybe stay in the back five, particularly the first 15 minutes of the second half, and grow back into the game as they did earlier.
Yeah, it's just the wing-backs were the problem for them, weren't they? At times jumping out, exposing that sort of area in between the right-sided centre-half or the left-sided centre-half. So Mahrez getting a couple of times down his side. So it's all about being compact, make sure that there's nothing too easy going down the sides of them, have your block in front, and then when you go and get the ball and the transitions, make the most of those opportunities, really.
We just saw Pekovic there a minute ago. He's, of course, the coach of Algeria. Penny for his thoughts to see what it is that he's been saying to his team at the half there. And as you say, obviously, some things are going to need to change then if they're trying to get themselves back into this game. Because in a sense, this kind of his last chance saloon. As it stands, you've got Jordan with 3 points on the board, Austria 3 points on the board, Argentina already through to the next round. This potentially, as it stands, could send Algeria home.
Yeah, I'm just trying. Maybe Zarouki went off. I think he was on a yellow card. Maybe the guy that made the bad pass for the goal. We're just trying to figure it out now. But
a couple of changes.
Certainly need some changes from Algeria because they need to get back into. Like I said, this is a cup final now for both these teams.
All right. Well, it looks as though we're just about ready to go here. So we'll hand you back over to your commentary team of Lucy Ward and Joe Spade.
Thank you, Sandra. Well, we have loved coming here. Such a party atmosphere at this stadium at this World Cup. The streets of San Jose and Santa Clara and San Francisco will fill up the streets of Amman tonight if Jordan can see it through and record their first ever World Cup win. Algeria with that double half-time change then. They brought on Nabil Benta there, the very experienced midfield player. He's come on in midfield in place of Ramiz Zarouki. And also coming on, Nabil Ben-Bouabi. He's on in place of Hisham Bidouao. So a couple of changes there by Petkovic as Algeria chase the game here. Still waiting for their first goal of this World Cup. Right now they are bottom of the group. They'll leave themselves a huge task on the last day of the group action to try and get a place in the knockout stage. Darkness has fallen here now. It's cold evening in the Bay Area. Lucy, the first half played out perfectly ready for Jordan, defending well. On the breakaway, they were a threat, but Algeria could be in here just after half-time, but good work there by Abu Leyla.
Yeah, from Jordan's point of view, it's keep going with the game plan. Make sure when they tie out, they made subs probably a little bit too late in the last game, and it worked against them, Jordan, so being more proactive with that later on when legs are tired. But Algeria need to change something. Bentaleb is a key player, just sitting in front of the two centre-backs. They put a lot of players into that final line, Algeria, but with not much of a dynamic and not much depth, and they need more of that. And hopefully, well, they'll hope that Ben-Bouabi is the one in that midfield area.
Here's Mazza. Oh, he's done well there, kicking ball in play with some good skill, and he wins his team a corner.
I didn't see enough of him in the first half. Mazza just can create something out of nothing, just finding himself a little bit of space. Did so down that right-hand side, strong. Won his team a corner.
He's just 20 years of age. Winning his team his first set piece of the second half. Riyad Mahrez takes it. Volley was by Belgavi, away by Nassi. Almadi. Now then, here goes Altamari for Jordan. Excellent covering by Ryan Aït-Nouri. Lots of ground there to make up for Aït-Nouri.
His pace really gets Algeria out of a lot of trouble. Aït-Nouri. What a ball that was from Almadi as well, over the top.
This will be Jordan's first corner of the match. Coming just after half-time. And then Abu Taha takes it. Back to Almadi. Now the Rams there towards the back post, but well taken by Lucas Zidane. A shaky opening game, and there were some doubts as to whether he would keep his place, but he has.
He's a good modern young goalkeeper, but he could have done better with a couple of the goals in the first game. He'll certainly get better, lots of potential.
It's Bentaleb. Wasn't the last World Cup in 2014 for Algeria in Brazil. He was just 19 years of age. 31 now, he plays for Lille now in French football. He plays with a pacemaker now after suffering a cardiac arrest a few years ago. Good to see him back fit out there playing at a World Cup in the wake of that. Olwan, near the in behind, Benza Bayini. Bentaleb finding Mondi. Lost by Bogabi, then Bentaleb with a pretty loose touch, but Mondi came in.
Altamari, Olwan and Almadi just do not give the Algeria players a moment in those sort of areas. Back four for Algeria.
End of day 12 of this World Cup, and Algeria, one of only 5 teams who are still yet to score. Mahrez wins his team a free kick.
And the game's going in the same sort of pattern, isn't it? That Algeria get up this end of the pitch, trying to create something, and then Jordan are very wise and a great, good gamecraft about them, who they hit on that first ball forward.
So Mahrez with the left foot will be the favourite here for Algeria. Former African Footballer of the Year. Two in the wall for Jordan. Sent in by Mahrez, good ball in two. Well dealt with by Abu Leila. Shot came back in, but the whistle had been blown to award a free kick for Jordan.
Abu Leila didn't know. It's a great save, that second one. First one, probably a little bit lucky, he went down. Altamari, goalkeeper Abu Leila, still had to save the second one.
Altamari is known as the Jordanian Messi. He might well meet the real thing in the final group game in a few days' time in Dallas. Abu Taha. Now Haddad on for Altamari. Excellent challenge from Benza Bayini.
Abu Taha there. He should have lost the ball about 3 or 4 times going across the pitch, kept going, just bustling his way through. And the pace of Altamari.
Just 23 years of age, the left back. Abu Taha. There has been some talk of a potential move to European football off the back of this World Cup if he impresses here. At the moment playing in Iraq, where he's a league champion this season. He's the goal scorer, Giza Al-Rashdan. Samari. Jordan came in hoping not to freeze on the big stage. We have seen some debutants in the past who have not fared well, but we have seen some who've made a big impression too. For Senegal, when they beat the reigning champions France in the opening game of 2002, Croatia in their first World Cup reached the semi-finals in France '98. The last World Cup in the USA '94, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia reached the last 16 in their first finals. That's Two is a target for Jordan here.
Yeah, the debutants this time around just seem fearless, enjoying the world stage.
I have to say there are many people who are sceptical about the enlarged World Cup, but it's been great to have these new nations here.
Yep.
Benter then. It's Mazza! It's a good save by Aguilera.
To 8 Norwich. Mazza getting himself involved a little bit more, just absolutely let fly. Goalkeeper again called into action. Again, good for Aguilera.
Scored 5 goals for Leverkusen in German football this season. He's got 2 to his name for Algeria. Uwiri. Now 8 Nouri. Spencer Bayini. Bogardi. Mazza. Watching from here, you can see how organised Jordan are. Their shape is
great,
pretty much perfect.
Yeah, their movement is good. The distances between each other and the units, defence, midfield, and lone striker when they've not got it, very good.
Need to be a hard team to break down. Here's Bogardi. Tussling with Abu Taha. Benter then. Shaibi. Set loose. Samari. Forward by Haddad.
Just a sheer work rate as well, spending a lot of time without the ball. Jordan, we talked about the substitutes, probably weren't made in time in the last game, and that could hinge on the players that come on and finish the game for Jordan.
Benter then. Ethan Bogardi. In by Abu Dahab. Question mark for Algeria as to whether Mahrez will get through the entirety of the game. Many Algerian fans now who feel like there are younger rivals for his place and perhaps better players to occupy that right side of their attack. So decorated, but maybe his best days are behind him.
Tempted to lean on him over the years, but there's always someone younger coming through. We have a new generation led by the likes of Mazza and Nouri.
There's the goal there that still separates these two teams. Scored in the first half by Nizar Al-Rashdan for Jordan. Just their second World Cup goal. Benter then. Fizzed into Mahrez. That was a tough one to control. Amadi, good pass by him. It's out to Mari. Back came Benza Bayini. Set back to Al-Rashdan. Tackles flying in now. The referee awards a free kick ultimately for Algeria.
What a ball forward into the path. Al-Tamari there. And he's got the pace. Two of them in all one have got the pace to get down the sides.
Al-Rashdan, who went in there bravely, I think has caused himself some discomfort.
He played the ball back. Al-Tamari didn't really know who was there. Al-Rashdan came really quickly. Ended up Al-Tamari giving the ball away and giving a foul away.
Al-Rashdan's okay. We go again. Maza. Hit the deck, but no foul. Olwan now on the move for Jordan. Olwan in towards Altamari.
Altamari must have got to just get on the end of that run from Olwan. He knows when one of them goes, the other one has to get into the box. So effective, and it just means that Algeria, the back four, just don't get a rest.
Abu Dahab with a throw. Algeria made that double half-time change. We're yet to really see one of those subs have an impact. Nadir Benbouadi, forward player who plays in Hungary, had a tremendous club season. There's Almadi. Rabde might come off.
Great idea that. Everybody thought he was just going to lay it wide to Haddad. Algeria just, they started off well in this game, and then just sort of, the belief has just sort of ticked away from them, and that is all to do with the way that Jordan have defended against them and the way that they've played against them.
Maza took it well, trying to pace too. Maza going on. Angle always difficult.
Abdi stayed with him. Just careful you don't give anything away, but that's better. Maza, that's the sort of thing, the dynamic in the final third from Algeria.
They are twice African champions, Algeria. Here with big expectations of challenging for second place in the group. Lots of ground to make up for Petkovic and co at the moment. Alwan. Oh, fizzed out wide for Abu Taha. Towards Altamari. He's come back for Al Rabdi. His reaction tells you that was not too far away at all.
Wow, from our position, we're right behind that. Joe, I thought that was just going to sneak in from Abdi. Again, they break, and again, they get bodies forward. Jordan.
They're having their moments to add to their lead rather than just protect it. Gouiri for Algeria now. Saint Nouri, back for Gouiri. Now Maza. Lovely turn again. Gouiri's touch was heavy. Morris got beyond Abu Taha, supported by Benbouadi. Couldn't pick out Maza though.
Some things now, it's a little bit last ditch defending from Jordan. He'll be looking at his bench now. Salami.
Bensebaini looking for Bagavi. Stepped in by Abu Taha.
Actually, Joe, as a tyre, it probably get even more exciting this game.
There's Mahrez. Now Nabil Bentaleb. Oh, the header was on target from Benbouadi.
I haven't seen enough since he's come on, Benbouadi, but that was a chance. Just couldn't get the pace on it to beat Abu Leila.
Jordan will be a confident bunch on a roll over the past few years. They defied the odds to reach the Asian Cup final for the first time 2 years ago. They reached the Arab Cup final for the first time last year. They all know their individual jobs. Collectively, become a very organised, disciplined unit. That's a foul there, though, on Riyad Mahrez by Abu Dahab. That will produce a yellow card for the Jordanian defender. It's their first player booked in the game.
Well, the game so far has gone the way that Jordan wanted it in terms of being a compact transitional game, working on the counter, but they've got to keep that defensive part of it going. Giving fouls away from that, just give Algeria a chance.
Well, those fans need Riyad Mahrez to produce something from this. He find the service to create a chance for Algeria to get back level and try and keep alive their World Cup dreams. Less than half an hour to go now. Referee's happy. Or is he? I must say he spent a lot of time in this game laying down the law. Mahrez with the free kick. It's a glancing header by Mazza. And he took a touch off a Jordanian player, so it will be a corner.
Super ball from Mahrez, just curling that in. It just needed someone to get something on it. Mazza just put the defender under pressure.
Shabi's ball in swinger. Excellent punch away by Abu Layla. That's Mahrez. Nice pass by him to Ait Nouri. Shabi. Gouiri was there towards the back post. It's turned away by Abu Dahab. Jordan now being penned in. No easy way out for them. It's Mahrez again. And Mazza. Mazza, young man, sees the ball from the old stager. Had two to beat and couldn't find a way through it, but he'll make two with the throw-in.
Yeah, first bit of sustained pressure since the start of the first half for Algeria. Just a number of bodies forward. Algeria have got to just pin in Jordan back.
Change for Jordan coming soon, but not just yet. Al-Fahori will be coming on. Mondi. Belgabi, and now Ben Bouabi. There's Mazza. It's nipped off his toes though by Abu Taha. Tamri chasing that. And a good challenge coming in from Al-Mahdi. Sense what this means, those Jordan players. The commitment is fantastic. Their endeavour is to be admired. Algeria really are pressing now and probing, and here's Belgabi. Low one, good near post defended by Asla Rab.
Yeah, much better runs into that inside channel beyond. Just turning the back five of Jordan.
Mahrez with the ball in, and it's there! Algeria on level! Nadir Ben Bouabi! Algeria's first goal of World Cup 26. And they have liftoff at last.
Yeah, perhaps substitutions maybe could have been made earlier, but Algeria just keep pushing and pushing, and it was only going one way. But what a set piece, and what a header that is from Ben Bouali. Absolutely didn't have to move, just a jump, and then guided his header past Abu Leila. Terrific set piece. We knew set pieces would be important in this game. We thought it'd be for Jordan, but tell you what, Algeria, great goal.
And will that transform Algeria's World Cup? It's been a while in coming, but they have their first goal of these World Cup finals. And the half-time serve now near Ben Bouali, only his 5th cap, only his 2nd goal for his country. But that will lift the mood of the North Africans.
They just built up pressure after pressure, kept the ball right in the final third for long periods of time, and they got the rewards, Algeria.
And here's Massa, early ball by him. It's come to Ait Nouri. Mahrez was free there towards the back post, didn't quite come his way though. Here's Dabo Bentadeb now. Looking for Mahrez. Abu Saha with the header. Now a break on for Al Samari. No support for now. Just checks. The red shirt starts to arrive. Well, we could have a fascinating finale in store now.
It turns out it might just be about the subs. Algeria made subs, didn't have an immediate effect, but Bentaleb's got himself on the ball, spraying passes, and have managed to just lock Jordan in to their own half, defending better, certainly the last 10 or so minutes.
The XG there tells you Algeria deserve their equalising goal. Massa, last-ditch challenge by Nassib. A bit of room here for Mahmoud Al-Mahdi. He's got Olwan to his left. It's Al-Mahdi. Maybe could have used a teammate there, and he had Samari one way, Olwan the other.
They're just running out of energy in that final third, Jordan, and you expect that. They've worked so hard. You expend so much energy when you're back defending in a good shape. You're running about, you've not got the ball, and then you break quickly. They've done it a number of times in this game.
It could become stretched now, the game. Battling with Nassib. It's going to be a free kick. Fouled on Ait Nouri.
Just losing a little bit of discipline as well. Tiredness creeping in and making decisions like that. Ait Nouri looks like he's certainly felt that. Yeah, stood on, wasn't it? I don't think he meant to do that.
Painful blow to the face there for Ait Nouri. Not had a second half hydration break yet. Has the ref forgotten?
Yeah, he's carried away with everything.
So Mahrez with the free kick. Shabi. What a hit that was. Goodness me, plenty of power behind that.
Got a hold of that. So did Abu Leila in the goal. He had to keep a hold of it. It was flying in there. Algeria players waiting for the keeper to fumble.
And now we do have the pause in play for our second half hydration break.
It is an opportunity now, Joe, for Jordan to stop the momentum of Algeria. We've seen it change momentum so many times, particularly the second half hydration break.
Now it's deemed to be a cooling break here, but it's a warming break that we require. There's a heat wave back home, but it's pretty nippy here in California tonight. But we're being entertained by what has become a really fascinating game between these two sides, who began the evening as the bottom two teams in Group J, a group where Argentina booked their progress earlier today with their win against Austria. Those 2 goals for Lionel Messi in Dallas to take him to 5 goals now at this World Cup. These two sides both dreaming of a place in the knockout stages as the weeks go on. He's the player who scored the equalising goal for Algeria, Nadir Benbouabi.
Yeah, it's a great header, that. You know, we talk about set pieces and how important. It's a tight game, huffing and puffing a bit. They got a bit of pressure building up, then got the corner. It was absolutely perfect. Delivery, brilliant. Benbouabi, great header.
The 26th goal for the sub at this World Cup.
It just shows you, you know, in squads of 26 that players that come on are so important. So important. They change games.
Well, the Algerian fans were somewhat subdued in the first half, not now. As the eclectic music continues in the Bay Area. And we can let you know about what's coming up later on today. We have Portugal up against Uzbekistan. Portugal looking for their first win. Uzbekistan debutants too. That's from 5 p.m. on ITV1 and STV. And then later on we have Colombia up against DR Congo in the early hours of Wednesday morning for that one from 2:30. And then tomorrow we have the climax of Group B, where all 4 teams can still go through. Switzerland against Canada is on ITV1, with Bosnia and Herzegovina against Qatar on ITV4, and coverage of both games gets underway from 7 p.m. So Jamal Salami going to his bench, and likewise Petkovic too, so lots of movement here to keep on top of. Will we see more subs having a goal-scoring impact in what remains of this game? You wouldn't count against it. Ode Fakhouri on for Mahmoud Al-Mahdi for Jordan. Fakhouri was a starter in their opening match against Austria. And for Algeria, Anis Hadj Moussa has come on and Riyad Mahrez has departed. Didn't think that Mahrez would get through the entire game. So he got the assist for the equalising goal. Hadj Moussa on now for him, the fine-oared winger. Scored a super goal to beat the Dutch in a friendly match just before this World Cup began. Got to think here that Jordan have to go for a win, because their last match is against Argentina in Dallas. That would be a must-win match for them to have any chance of going through. Algeria, with their last game being against Austria, a draw here wouldn't be too bad. They're the ones who are pushing for a win. Bentaleb. Sliced there by Abu Dahab. Massa going on. Can he find a way through? Not quite. Supported by Hadj Moussa. He's trying to win a corner, but the referee says goal kick.
Just had some more trickery on down this side. Hadj Moussa. Salami put Al-Fakhouri on just with more legs, just to support Tamari and Olwan up front.
It's the first change made by Jordan. Mazza. Down goes Gawiri, referee close by, but he saw no foul there.
He doesn't like making subs. Rami and Jordan manage it. Like I said, he made them late in the first game, and it probably affected the result because they did so well. Maybe something to do with the strength in depth because the players on the pitch. There's best ones available.
Jordan, one of the 9 teams in the Asian region at this World Cup. Big winner of the expanded format. All they scored here in the first half from Nizar Al-Rashdan was a moment to cherish. They might be tiring now as Algeria keep on pushing. It's Benta there. Now Mazza, and a great second half. Good pass to Baghavi, and Haj Musa! It's a very important block that came in.
Bentaleb's starting to pull the strings now, as you thought he would, but maybe he could have hit that first time. Haj Musa came into it really nicely.
Ten minutes of normal time to go. In by Haj Musa and came Abu Leitha. Another good punch by him. He's been decisive tonight. Now Mazza. He has been superb to watch in the second half.
Yeah, they've upped the levels, haven't they? He's more involved. Bentaleb's got on the ball, and all of a sudden they've got control higher up the pitch, and actually been a little bit more effective, aren't they? Algeria, you wouldn't rule them out getting a second.
And that could be interesting. See Ben Sabayini, who went down there in the box. Bit of contact from Hussam Abu Dahab, but it has been looked at by the VAR, and on we go. Dangerous defending. Haj Musa. Adarab up towards Olwan. This is Shaibi, and Adarab, the big defenders, up there trying to win it back. The referee's given a free kick, so he has to get back now pretty quickly. Here's Haj Musa. He wants a corner, and a corner he gets.
Just keep them pushing, aren't they? Loved it. Really didn't think that was a corner.
Referee having words with Nizar Al-Rashdan this time. Haj Musa with the corner. It's a lovely ball in, and there it is again for Algeria, who've come from behind to lead. Ami Gawiri. 2 corners, 2 goals for Algeria. And they have turned the game around here. A stirring comeback from Petkovic's team. And Jordan have fallen apart.
Well, the noise in here absolutely erupted this place. And again, they've come undone. Had he gone offside? Oh, this will be interesting. Looks like that first ball in there. It's a great little finish. Ended up striking Abu Taha on the way in, but their set pieces now are so effective.
Well, this will be checked, of course. Referee waiting for assistance from the VAR room in Dallas. Is there to be a reprieve for Jordan? VAR is the Croatian Ivan Bebek. He's assisted by Jarek Gibbet, a Premier League referee.
The crowd have just realised it's been checked. Oh, what a come down this may be.
Yeah, the Algerian fans on the big screen now have seen that there's a VAR check happening.
One of the reasons why some teams don't put players on the posts is so they can catch on the second phase an attacking player offside.
Well, there's the verdicts, and the goal stands for Algeria. It was touched on there by a Jordanian player, and that is why Amin Gouiri was deemed to be onside.
I imagine if they would have disallowed that goal, this place would not have been happy. A little bit of luck involved, but the set pieces have been fantastic.
More changes now. Zinedine Belaid, Jaoued Hacham coming on for Algeria. Mohamed Abu Hashish on for Jordan. Taha has gone off for Jordan. A Nouri going off there for Algeria. Amin Gouiri, who's just scored the goal there for Algeria, is departing. So it looks as though they're moving to a more cautious setup now as we see the goal again. Just played on there, wasn't he, by the foot, the defender.
That just did not look like that.
How tight is that?
That is amazing. That just did not look like it was going to be onside. There you go.
The semi-automated offside technology coming into play there. And a very tight call goes in Algeria's favour.
Jordan just ran out of energy, probably went into the shell a little bit more low-key and defended. Didn't have the energy up front on the counter, so the game plan just wasn't quite as effective, and Algeria have upped the tempo and taken advantage.
And at the moment, Jordan are heading out of the World Cup. How it's all turned around here in this second half. Northern California. Set pieces have been the downfall for Jordan. They were also in their opening match here against Austria. That's a mistake there by Abu Dahab, and Algeria are in the mood now. Now Rashdan. Musa. Smiling now, the fans of Algeria. Run by Abu Dahab. So in there by Belaid. To a three-man defence now, Algeria, to try and preserve the lead they had. There's Mondi diving in. On the way back with Zidane.
They've been better in forward areas, haven't they, Algeria? More runs beyond the back five, stretch them, move them about, get a ball forward. Naz has been involved in the game more, and it's them in the lead.
Aviator. Jordanian subs. Hach Musa for Algeria. Another corner.
Certainly the strength in depth compared Algeria to Jordan has helped that just a little bit reticent to make the subs, maybe because he knows what's on the pitch and tries to stay with that. But they work so hard. And then fresh legs come on for Algeria. Bentaleb passes the ball better. Mazza gets involved, and all of a sudden they've turned the game around.
Here's the ball in. Could there be a third goal from the corner here? Mazza towards the back post. This time Jordan shut down the door. The way the group table stands right now, Argentina top of the pile. They would be guaranteed to win the group. Austria second place on 3 points. Algeria in third place on 3 points. Jordan would be going out. And it would mean a matchup between Austria and Algeria in a battle for second, which of course will bring back memories of that disgrace of Gijón 44 years ago. That remarkable scenario back in '82 at the World Cup in Spain, when Algeria were sent packing from the World Cup after Austria played out a convenient situation with West Germany, a 1-0 win for West Germany, and saw Algeria go out. There'll be many tales about that game coming up in the days ahead. It's off the back of that scenario that simultaneous games came into play for the end of the group stage at the World Cup. This time a draw for both teams may actually be enough to take them both through on 4 points, which would be somewhat ironic. So we go now into stoppage time, of which there are 7 minutes. Jordan need a goal now to stay in the World Cup. They're going to bring on 2 players here. Salim Obeid, the oldest player in the squad at 34 years of age. And Mohamed Abu Zreik, a skillful winger. Alwan is going off, and he's hobbling off as well. Not just him, Hussam Abu Abdahan has also gone off somewhat gingerly.
They're giving everything, haven't they, Jordan? It'd be so unfortunate if they don't get something from this game, but it might just not be enough. 100% effort all the way through.
Abu Zreik there, who plays in North Africa, in Morocco. Scored 5 goals over his career playing for Jordan. He has been known to be an impact sub in the past. Zazaya. Playing for throw-in for Algeria. Did miss the last 2 World Cups. They had to watch on from afar. Question is whether they can get Mohamed Amoura back fit for their final game against Austria. And if they do play knockout football, whether he can play a part. Spirits have been raised for the Algerian supporters. Could they yet get a third goal here? Here's Banaj to Baghali. Mazza. Haddad. Al Rabde. Or behind the seed. Flicks on, and maybe a chance to attack now for Jordan. This is Ode Al Fahuri. Al Rashdan. Haddad, crossing chance maybe. Play goes in behind for a goal kick.
I wonder whether the assistant's going to raise his flag there. He will be pleased. He doesn't look it, but he certainly will. somehow managed to stay onside. Somehow.
What a big moment for Algeria. To feel for him. He came to the World Cup short of one of his star players, mentioned earlier, Yazan Al-Naiman, who was actually to injury. A scruffy goal there, but a goal with immense meaning for Algeria. It could be a terminal blow for Jordan.
Yeah, just additional quality. The way they turned the tempo up in the second half. I feel for Jordan.
Here's Musa. Mazza.
Much better at stopping that first ball out as well. Algeria, that Jordan had loads of joy from in the first half, getting up the pitch. First pass very good. Now they're up there and stopping that, Algeria.
It's better that Algeria just keep the ball now and manage the game. Get themselves all 3 points. Mazza. That's going to be a corner. There'll be no hurry now as Mazza plays cheerleader, and the Algerian fans behind that goal respond. Morocco, the only African team to go as far as a World Cup semi-final. 4 have reached a quarter-final. Algeria, with a population of almost 50 million. Hoping for a long run here. Last 16 is their best ever World Cup achievement. It achieves at their last World Cup in Brazil 12 years ago. They're going to be a growing force at this World Cup. Despondent Jordanian faces now. Ehsan Haddad with a long throw chance for Jordan. He goes backwards and short, but it's almost now or never. In by Haddad, up towards Al-Arab. There's Haj Musa. They give us so much, but Jordan set to fall short.
Various points in the first couple of games has been brilliant. Jordan shows real quality and endeavour, good game plan. Just falling short by the looks of it tonight.
Here's Belgavi. Is there one that shouts to go forward? Well, that's a foul. May just about be it. Added time now on stoppage time. Here's Haj Musa. The Algerian bench is poised to sprint out there on the pitch. And there is the full-time whistle. Algeria have come from behind to win for the first time at the World Cup. Petkovic's team have got their World Cup going here. But Jordan, well, they are out. One of the debutant teams go out with the game still to play. Tough for them. They've made some great moments here in California. Olwan's goal in their first game, Al-Rashdan's goal in this game, but ultimately set pieces proved to be their undoing. Ben Bouabi and Gouiri scored the goals for Algeria, and they now will face Austria in a race for the top 2 spots in Group G. But as they enhance their chances, Jordan are going out. It ends here in the Bay Area. Jordan 1, Algeria 2.
Hang on. I think he's going for it. Oh, he's only gone and done it.
Need anything from Tesco? Like 3 for £8 finest picky bits. Or 2 for £5 Heinz table sauces. Or 3 for £8 Tesco ready meals. Just scan your club card and watch the prices drop.
Club card accepted.
Because every little helps.
Got a good feeling about this one, Roy.
Me too, Micah. Me too.
It's football. That's his job.
Get a completely free bet on England's quarter-final game. The world's gone football. Get in on it with Sky Bet.
Everyone has dreams. But what seems impossible at first could soon become a reality.
Ready, Dad?
Is it time to take your leap? We're ready when you are.
3, 2, 1.
14 million customers trust Lloyds with their aspirations.
It's your turn now, Dad.
Bank on Lloyds.
There's no place like ITV.
Let's recap. The weight of that touch was absolutely perfect. And now he's in. Take a bow, son.
The dream proved short-lived for Jordan. After a stunning start, Algeria came back from a 1-0 deficit to turn the tide in their favour. 2 second-half goals were enough to get them over the line to snap up a result that keeps them in the running, but unfortunately for Jordan, sends them back. Some wonderful celebration scenes there from Algeria with their supporters at the far end of the pitch there. But as we said, they're still very much alive in this race for a place in the round of 32. As we've already established earlier in the day, Argentina are through as the leaders of this group. Austria will take on Algeria next in a straight shoot for that second place, whereas for Jordan, unfortunately, with no points on the board to show for their time here at the World Cup, they are headed home. Well, what a match that turned out to be in the end. A little bit of disappointment, I think, for a lot of us that were kind of cheering on for the minnows, Jordan, here at a World Cup for the first time. But nonetheless, you have to give credit to Algeria, to Petkovic for the changes that he made, both in terms of substitutions and tactics.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Jordan, I know they've gone out tonight, but I thought for their first appearance at a Men's World Cup, it was absolutely, they were entertaining and they gave it a real good go. Obviously, they'll be disappointed when they reflect back and go, we got knocked out tonight by 2 set pieces. But as you mentioned, credit to Algeria, made the right changes and actually had the momentum and the upper hand very much in the second half.
Well, let's take us then back to the moment where Algeria were able to get a foothold back in this game. Ben Boali coming off the bench as a substitute at the break. Well, as you mentioned, Kaz, 2 set pieces were really what did Jordan in the end. And we had talked to Joby about how Jordan needed to tighten things up at the back, not keep spaces. Well, they found, let's say, a loophole, if you will. Yeah,
and that has been a big problem of theirs in terms of the goals they've conceded. And they didn't look assured, even in that first half, gave up opportunities. But this is so cheap, Semra. I mean, it's just, you know, a decent delivery into the middle of the penalty area, and he doesn't have to do an awful lot, does he, Ben Boali? Just almost strolls into that. There's 4 defenders around him. Listen, good bit of hang time, gets up, stays in the air, and once he gets the contact, really good direction. But from a Jordan point of view, really, really disappointed to concede that goal.
And unfortunately, it'd be a case of deja vu for that second goal as well from Guidi. As we say sometimes, if you remember, I forgot the saying. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to have a look at the second one, a set piece as well.
That's what they were saying.
That's what they were saying. Exactly.
No, they want to forget about it. But they didn't learn, Semra, they didn't learn the lesson from the first goal. I think that's what you meant. And the first thing when you say about set pieces is you must win the first contact. And to be fair to Algeria, they absolutely did. And look, to that eye, we were in here going, that's offside, clearly. But obviously, we're half asleep. And we're totally wrong. And then you look at the VAR. Yeah, thanks to everyone at home that's with us. But there, look, he's onside. So look, fair play to him. But in terms of Jordan, you know, you're kicking yourself. 2 set pieces. You've got, you know, to the 70-odd minute, you're in the game. And you just switch off, completely switch off, lose that first contact, you don't react to the second ball, and now you find yourself, you know, on the knocked out of a World Cup, and you've worked so hard, and I think that's the frustrating part. But credit to Algeria, they took you mentioned the loophole, they found it, and, you know, they're in the tournament still. And
I think that last goal sort of summed them up second half. They were proactive, weren't they? They were the team that really were trying to get themselves up the pitch to make those opportunities. We said at half-time, you know, for Jordan, it's a real fine balance between not just conceding, you know, possession, conceding territory and inviting too much pressure on. And I don't think they did a good enough job controlling that. Algeria were better, were improved. I think the subs really helped them, plenty of energy. And again, to score 2 set pieces, great from their perspective. But again, didn't have to do an awful lot to score those 2 goals in the end for all their good play.
Well, food for thought then for Jordan as they pack their beds and pack their bags and head home. But of course, for a time, it did seem as though things were looking quite good for them as they managed to pick up their only goal of the match in the 36 minutes, courtesy of Al Rashdan.
Yeah, and listen, again, they really did grow into this first half, and you know, poor giveaway. But this was the little glimpses that we saw throughout the night of that attacking play, and Al Tamari involved here, again, bit of a miss hit, but Al Rashdan following it in. And, you know, from this perspective here and this moment in the game, really did feel as though there might be a little bit there for them, Kaz.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be fair to him, it was the first time we spoke. We knew they weren't going to have a lot of possession in this game. It was the first time they got a lot of bodies around the box. And I think, again, that's why they managed to get this goal, because they're in the first phase, the second phase. And obviously, it's a really, really tidy finish. And then it was like, have you got enough quality? Have you got the mentality to hold on? Have you got the concentration? Which they obviously didn't. But for them, this was a great moment for them as well. And obviously, there'd be some fantastic scenes back home. They would have been proud of their performance. They certainly gave it a right good go, but the quality wasn't there. These are the scenes.
Talking about how proud they were at home, we'll take a look at this at the amphitheatre once again. 6,000 people there jumping for absolute joy. At least to get something from this World Cup.
100%, and this is what you want to take away. Listen, they haven't managed to get any points just yet, but they've had the moments, they've had this goal, you know, which again will be celebrated as we've seen here, and ultimately that's what you want to take away from it. And it's about, you know, developing, it's about step by step. Can they get a result? It's going to be tough, obviously, in the next game, but hopefully moving forward, this will give them the confidence and the belief when they do get back to this stage that they can compete, because they have done that in both games.
They have, and hopefully we'll see them return then another time in the future at a World Cup. But for now, we do have to take a very quick break, and when we return, we'll look back at the other game in this group between Argentina and Austria, where history was made yet again.
Let's recap. The weight of that touch was absolutely perfect. And now he's in. Take a bow, son.
You want £1 million.
Love £1 million.
So you enter the birthday draw from ITV and Global. It's a weekly draw and only £1 to enter. And since January, we've made over 50,000 winners. So take a chance on the only weekly draw where you can win £1 million for just £1.
Yes, yes!
Let's go, baby!
I love being rich!
Turn £1 into £1 million with the birthday draw. Enter before midnight on Sunday.
We don't do soccer songs. We don't do half-time entertainment. And we don't do octopodial predictions. But that looks tasty. We just stick to what we do best. A Bet Builder winnings boost on all remaining World Cup matches. Available on app and in shop. William Hill, nothing but the bets.
When you're confident in what you could afford, you can believe it too. Rightmove.
Gossip Girl here. Your one and only source into the scandalous lives of Manhattan's elite.
You're no one until you're talked about.
I've an army to build and girls to blackmail. And everyone is talking.
Gossip Girl. Full series available now on ITVX.
Sizing up the wall here. They need to hang these up. Oh, what a lineup from Gemini. Wow, just wow.
Well, certainly Lionel Messi had plenty to say about the state of Group J yesterday. Here's how Argentina got on against Austria.
Messi wants it to feet and he knows where the space is. Enzo Fernandez. It's a terrific challenge. Referee's right on this, but Argentina wants a penalty. Certainly not going to get one on field.
Great play from Argentina, that really good stuff. Some one-touch play, and Lautaro Martinez found himself in a brilliant position. Here we go.
It is still being checked.
Yeah, it's just whether Posh coming in catches his foot.
Foul.
Yeah.
It looks like Xhavaslaga didn't.
Correct. And I think because of that, Martin, I can see this one being given.
Leo Messi's been getting ever closer to closer. Is he going to get a penalty here? There you have it. So history beckons here in Dallas. Messi's missed a few penalties, I have to say. The tally is 16. Shared with Miroslav Klose, the German forward. It's Lionel Messi. Oh! History beckoned, but we'll have to wait.
See, I think he gave the goalkeeper a chance by the little casual run-up and almost stop him when he gets to the ball. I think that makes that easier for the goalkeeper. I'm really surprised there that it wasn't a little bit more of a positive run-up. So, wow, what drama we've had early on in the game already. Incredible.
Messi. Well, here is Leo Messi. Oh, Slager sticks out a foot.
The whole stadium held their breath there for a split second, Martin. I know I did. Look, watch, he goes again. He wants to put everyone down on the floor. Absolutely electric, really was.
Here is Messi to trigger an attack here with Almada. Medina coming up on the outside. Oh, yes, there it is. There it is. In terms of scoring in World Cup finals, you are looking at the greatest of all time. Number 17 for the great number 10.
Is it any real surprise to anybody that he's the one that has found the back of the net? But most importantly, Martin, it just seems so right, so fitting that the first goal of this game today is a record-breaking one by that man.
For a loitering Leo Messi, who's got bags of options coming from the opposite flank. And a great stop by Slager. But is Messi going to crown it all himself? He has to. There were 4 or 5 Austrians in the way, but he found a way because he works miracles.
You can see why he has God-like status, this guy. He just injects hope into all these Argentinian fans in here whenever he gets the ball. Whenever he's got it, they feel something will happen. And my goodness, it's happened again, right there.
And they broke, and he was the only one forward. And then what happened after that? How did it end up with him putting it in the net? Astonishing.
Yeah, just amazing.
Another day, another record for the unstoppable Lionel Messi. He scored his 17th at a World Cup, surpassing the all-time goal-scoring record by Miroslav Klose. And for good measure, he decided to score his 18th as well. And get this, he even, I guess, spirited the channel of a certain Maradona, because it was 40 years to the day since Maradona scored 2 iconic goals in the same match. The goal of the century and the hand of God. So you got to hand it to Argentina. You got to hand it to Lionel Messi. He just continues to defy all logic and reason, quite frankly.
I mean, it's just like a one-man show, isn't it? In both games now, we've had the luxury. This one, look, I love the little dummy, though, to give it to him. They already know. We were talking off air, weren't we, Joby? Every time there, we just saw him in behind and just let it run in between. And Messi there just steps onto it, side foot, nice cushion. Every time they just look for him, don't they?
And that's the most amazing thing. I've been very fortunate enough to play against him with some top players that he's got in the team, but it is exactly that. You know, we'll win the ball back for you. Look at his movement, that touch, that isn't normal. You know, it's fired at him, he manages to bring it under control, but then that desire to want to go and get on in. This is a 96th minute of the game, by the way. 39 years of age now, and, you know, just his impact on their team, on the country. He's almost willing them to another win, possibly at a World Cup. And we're talking about, you know, a tournament we've seen set alight with so many fantastic players, but he is still shining the brightest. Sometimes you just got to sit there, you've got to admire, appreciate greatness, and yeah, it's just brilliant to witness.
Well, you've seen goals from Mbappe, you've seen goals from Erling Haaland. Obviously, you have the young guns coming through and trying to make a mark for themselves. You know, Messi saying, hold on, guys,
yeah,
I've still got things to do here. But obviously, these two are rising to prominence, as they ever so often do, of course, at a World Cup. In this case, for Mbappe yet again.
Look, it was a day of the superstars today, and they really, really stepped up and shone. Okay, gifted at times, but you still got to punish teams, you still got to have the opportunity and finish them, and it's certainly a race for the golden boot. You know, Messi, Mbappe, Haaland, and I keep putting Kane in that bracket as well, but he's the other main man there, Joby, that we mentioned.
Yeah, and it's, again, different styles. This is what I love about all three, really. Obviously, fantastic goal scorers, of course, but Haaland, his desire to want to go and get in behind and hurt teams, and again, always finds the right finish at the right time, and any team with him in it. This one here, look, he's a bit frustrated, but he switches on straight away, and that adjustment on his right foot to make sure he directs it in, and he's playing, you know, at the moment, you look at him, he's got the bit between his teeth, hasn't he? They've come into the tournament, you look at that list there, you know, Messi lighting it up. Who do you think it's ultimately
going to be?
I've always gone for probably Mbappe at the start of the tournament, thinking France are going to go really, really deep. Messi, you know, you never rule him out. I mean, what a start. He's had 5 already. So, brilliant competition.
Brilliant competition. Well, time for a short break, but on the other side, we turn our attention to England, and we'll hear from Thomas Tuchel looking to build on an impressive start when they face Ghana later tonight.
Sizing up the wall here. They need to hang these up. Oh, what a lineup from Gemini. Wow, just wow.
Everyone's welcome on board with ITV Win Prizes. You'll find spectacular ITV prizes wherever you pop in. Like big cash giveaways, cars, campers, holidays and more. Plus, every week it's Spin to Wednesday with ITV's This Morning. Join the thousands of weekly winners enjoying exclusive online competitions, free prize draws and bonus tokens. At itv.com/win.
Skipping breakfast is best.
Breakfast is the most important meal.
Knowing what's good for you is confusing. At Alpro, we keep things simple. Plant-based goodness enriched with 5 essential nutrients to get the morning started. Alpro, healthy made easy. And make mealtimes easy with new Alpro Meal to Go. Time saved, taste served.
Acid reflux symptoms? Try Rennie Gum and chew like the goat of acid reflux. You can chew it with a mate, or chew it on a date. You can chew it in town, or chew it in a gown. Chew it when you train, or chew it in a crane. Chew it in the air, or chew it with a bear. Rennie Chewing Gum for fast, effective acid reflux relief. Have the Rennie ready.
This is your new boss.
I am looking for my star chef. Come back to my apartment.
Okay.
No flirting going on in the kitchen. I will be turning up the heat.
Brand new The Heat, available now on ITVX.
They're pressing. They're pressing. Oh my Gemini!
Thomas Tuchel's England play their second game against Ghana today, and he's been talking to Gabriel Clark. Let's have a listen.
One game, one win. What's your overriding feeling about the Croatia match?
I think the energy was clearly transmitted to our fans, and you saw the synergy in the end, so that's maybe the most important. The commitment, the team spirit, the effort was absolutely visible.
There's no doubt there was a connection. Maybe there's nothing like an England game in a tournament after you've won and won well, and you would have experienced that for the first time.
Yeah.
Has it connected you even more into the English spirit?
Yeah. If there was a more, then there is a more, but I was already very attracted to the English spirit from day one. If you go to a tournament and then it starts finally and then you get it going, is the glue that you need.
Declan Rice said, I knew Thomas was an elite level coach, but the last few days have shown why. Tournament, Thomas.
Tournament, TT tournament, Thomas. Yeah, well, I love it. I love the group of players. I had one of the best weeks of my career. Just love the excitement and the tension and the preparation and the atmosphere in the team, and the quality is so visible. And I'm just so happy that the fans in the stadium and hopefully even like at home saw and felt what I see and feel every day.
What will have to be better against Ghana?
We need to be more precise in our ball possession. We were a bit sloppy in ball wins, ball losses. We dropped a little bit too early from middle block into low block. So these are the things, the main things to improve. The reactions to adversity within the game was excellent, so we're in a good place.
Will you change your starting 11?
Not sure yet. We can, but there's no need to at the moment because we had a 5 days break. Everyone is ready to go again, but players from the side are pushing, so I have all options.
Jude Bellingham, if he plays, will become the youngest England player to 50 caps.
Okay, well.
22 years old.
Yeah, there will be another 50 very soon on the horizon. I think a tournament and the competition brings the best out of him. It's just his competitive character, and he has the edge. That's just who he is, and it's very special. I saw a very committed Jude to the team idea and to the team spirit, and to fulfill his role to the fullest, which he did.
Wonderwall is coming home. Sweet Caroline, Hey Jude. all possible England anthems.
Yeah.
All played at the end of a game, hopefully, against Ghana.
Yeah, hopefully.
What's your favourite?
I don't mind anything that brings fans and team together. I take it. I mean, Wonderwall was impressive because it was a wall, and it was nice to see the players sing together with the fans, and that was a big reward and a big moment.
Now to make it 2 out of 2.
Exactly.
Well, fingers crossed for Thomas Tuchel and company. They do manage to make it 2 wins from 2. Well, let's talk a little bit about tournament Thomas, because he does seem to be a bit of a different beast compared to his days at club management. What is it that you enjoy the most about what he's doing with this English team so far?
Well, first and foremost, it's great to see him really enjoying and relishing the role. It's a huge one. I think those of us, that have grown up, and know how much pressure is on that job. It's great to see someone step in who's really, really taken that on, and clearly the players are seeing that different sort of side to him. I think at half-time there's a lot been said about it. I was with Ange Postecoglou last night and he had a really interesting take on it, saying, yes, it was a great second half, but from a manager's perspective, there'll be bits in that first half that Thomas wasn't happy with, and they would have been speaking about that. And I think that would be the big thing for the Ghana game. Come out the traps. Let's play with that intensity that we know when we're at our best will give anyone a good game, and I think that's what we'll see tomorrow.
Well, at least as a backup, his in-game management seems to be on point. But let's, Kaz, talk about some of the important tactical things that should happen in this game that perhaps should be a bit different to what we saw against
I just pulled out 2 clips, and particularly maybe Harry Kane's movement. And you see in this clip there, Harry Kane drops in a little bit deeper and it turns into a box in midfield. And there you go, there's that box. And what he's trying to do is, him and Jude, is try and pull the opposition Croatia centre-backs in, because you want to isolate the two wide players in Gordon and Madueke in 1v1s. You see them highlighted there, perfect. So the ball goes into Harry Kane, he drops in deep, the space is in behind, bang, and we get our wide players in good positions there, driving into the penalty area, being direct, and we've got to take our moments. My only caveat is, I thought Croatia then sussed onto it. And you see in this clip, this is something we have to be mindful against Ghana, is just to adapt our little bit of attacking play at times. Obviously, Harry Kane drops in now. The centre-half goes, hold on a minute, I'm not going to be sucked into this. I'm going to pass him on, I'm going to stay in my shape, and then I'll protect that. Because you see now highlighted Jude there, he wants to go into the space where Harry Kane left. So Harry Kane drops in, and look, I don't want to see Harry Kane in that position in the back three, and Croatia suss it out. So look, it's something to be mindful against Ghana, because we've got to adapt. We've got a top manager, as Joby said, so it's just a couple of things. And if we want Harry Kane to get the golden boot, I don't want him in a back three.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think the other thing that really pleased me the other day was that response in the second half. We've seen, particularly in those first round matches, some of the favourites, the big teams, weren't quite able to get to that next level and change gear, where England certainly did do that. And it's going to be really interesting. A couple of great examples there that Kaz has pulled up. But Ghana will be a different proposition in that they will be a lot more disciplined in terms of their shape. I don't think they will chase out. You know, I saw them against Panama, and they were, you know, not in a hurry to move that low block. They'll get bodies in front of England, and I think it's going to be about certainly the patience in terms of how we build and making sure that we create those good opportunities.
Well, Jobs, Kaz, exceptional as always. Thank you very much. And look, this afternoon, the football continues apace as Portugal, in need of a result, take on Uzbekistan at 5 p.m. Then in the early hours of Wednesday morning, Colombia face DR Congo at 2:30 a.m., both of which are live right here on ITV1 and STV. And later on Wednesday, Switzerland lined up against Canada in a direct battle for who tops Group B on ITV1 and STV, while the other game of the group, Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Qatar, is also available on ITV4 and ITVX. All the build-up for both of these games from 7 p.m. That's all for now. Here in New York, we'll see you later.
This stone head has been in the ground for centuries.
Let me know. Hoo-hoo.
Key card didn't work. Fancy tap didn't work. Gym fob didn't work. Casino app didn't work.
We can fix the rest, but our casino app is actually pretty good.
So everything you need is on here. Yep. Orders appear here. Yep. And with a click and collect, we can get things ready in as little as 1 minute, so they can just grab and go.
Very keen, isn't he?
Yeah.
Tom?
Aren't you?
Yeah.
Click and collect in as little as 1 minute. Order on the app today.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Harry
Potter. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Yes.
Harry Potter. Potter.
Potter.
Potter.
Potter. Potter.
Potter.
Don't ask me to say it again. Every spell, every battle, every Harry Potter movie. Available now on ITVX.
Google Pixel sponsors ITV's coverage of the FIFA World Cup.
You're watching on demand. Please check the closing time before trying to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Welcome to the World Cup on ITV.
It's the greatest sporting show on earth.
Life's like a road that you
travel on. There's one day here and the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. We don't hesitate to break down a garden gate. There's not much time left today.
The first game, the nerves, the noise, getting it right early. That's a decent-looking cross. João Neves! Portugal hit the front. That's an interesting-looking cross. Visser gets up there, and it's a first-ever World Cup goal for DR Congo. Portugal surprisingly dropped points against a side that had never scored a World Cup goal before today. Cristiano Ronaldo and his team have got problems to solve.
229 games, 143 goals and 1 European Championship. There's absolutely no doubt how much Cristiano Ronaldo has contributed to Portuguese football over the past 23 years. The question today, though, after that opening draw with DR Congo, is whether Roberto Martinez would start him again as they face Uzbekistan or try someone or something else up front. Well, the team news has just dropped and Ronaldo does start. Is anyone really surprised about that? Other Portugal team news, 2 changes. Bernardo Silva drops to the bench, João Felix starts and Ruben Diaz comes in at centre-back. Duncan Ferguson is here, Martinez, first-team coach at Everton, alongside Roy Keane and Gary Neville, who both played with Ronaldo, of course, at Manchester United. Gents, thank you. It's all they're talking about in Portugal, Gary, literally non-stop. We should just say, I don't want a blizzard of stats for people, but he hasn't scored in 10 Euro or World Cup matches, only 1 in 12, and that was a penalty. XG is expected goal, so in that time, he should have scored roughly a goal every other game. So you can see why this is such a big talking point at the moment in Portugal.
Yeah, and you've got that fine line with a superstar who's done so much for his country, not just playing football for them, but just globally and everything that he's done in terms of an ambassador for Portugal, where he's coming to the end of his career. Patience is starting to wear a little thin. There's a question mark over whether the manager wants to take him on. And we know what happens when you take on Cristiano, and taking him on, I'm talking about leaving him out or putting him on the bench. It doesn't usually go well, there's disruption. So, look, he's a great goal scorer. The biggest problem right now is that he hasn't scored in 10 games, and Portugal drew their first game against DR Congo, which is a massive problem for them and a bad start to the tournament. But he needs to correct it today because there is a big spotlight on him.
You know Roberto Martinez well. There are some quarters saying that he's too weak, Duncan. He doesn't want to take him on, that he wouldn't dare leave him out. How would you respond to that?
I think it's difficult for him, isn't it? I mean, such a superstar. I think they were always going to pick him. It's just now, is he always going to play him? And I think he'd have weighed that up. And I think he would have understood that if he doesn't play him, there might be a problem if he's on the bench. So I think he's picked him to start him in every game. So so I think that's what Roberto did. He'd have took everything into consideration, and I think he'd be starting him in every single game. I don't think he's prepared to put him on the bench because I think then it could cause him problems.
Yeah, the worry is everyone's always talking about what would be the reaction of Ronaldo, but he keeps playing him. He's starting today, and but with great players like that, and if they are left out, they will be disappointed. And you'd say the same about Messi and Kane. Yeah, they're scoring goals, but focusing on the game today, you still think there'll be Ronaldo will score today. He get that chance. He's going through a difficult spell, no doubt about it. Roberto Martinez is talking about his own future, but that's why he's in the job. It's about making big decisions. And ultimately, he would feel the best chance of getting a result is Ronaldo up front, for all the shortcomings Ronaldo might have.
Let's have a look at what happened against DR Congo and just have a look at Ronaldo's movement as well. If you're going to leave anybody out, there has to be an alternative, and Ramos and Guedes are the two alternatives who, frankly, at domestic level, haven't pulled up any trees.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, you think, well, you're going to have to leave him out for somebody who's any better. Is there anybody better?
No, not at the moment. Obviously, the manager doesn't feel that, and it's his opinions that's the most important. But what you're talking about Ronaldo as well, it's about, he does need service. It's not like he was a bit younger where he could go and do something and pick it up 40 yards from goal. So we hear Riley talking about it. He's hanging around the right areas, and he's had a couple of chances, not necessarily in this game, but previously. And his movement, his intelligence is still there. I think it'll fall for him. You'd be worried if he wasn't getting in positions, he wasn't getting chances. So I'd simplify it, stick with him. He will produce.
How was his movement there? That looked pretty decent, didn't it? The last couple of
burst,
cutbacks.
isn't he? He's still got the intelligence, he's still got the burst, he's in the right areas. I mean, it's going to come, isn't it? It's just that, as Roy said, his teammates have got to try and put him in a bit better. That was a kind of slack pass, the boy that went behind them. Yeah. It's like, so they need to be better service to Ronaldo.
Sorry, Duncan, for all his experience, he looks a bit too desperate. If that was a young striker there trying to make his way, you go, no, just calm down. When the chance comes, just take it. So Ronaldo, for all his greatness, he looks even a little bit desperate. He's just got to calm down a little bit, bide his time, get into the right areas, and when that chance comes, make sure you're ready to take it.
Look, Matt, this is probably at the top 3, 4, 5 greatest players of all time. So his legacy is absolutely set irrespective of what happens in this tournament. What you're talking about now is legacy and how you remember him. And at times, Cristiano, what happened in Saudi Arabia half of this year, where I think he went on strike for 3 or 4 games. What happened at United towards the end, when obviously sort of Ranić left him out and he was sulking on the bench. He's left out in the last World Cup, and obviously that didn't go well either. So there's just an element of obviously that little bit of sulkiness that he has, which, to be fair, he's had that since he was a kid when he was 18. You know, he came in at United as an 18-year-old. This was someone at that time that was quite erratic, as a young winger would be. And he's had a lot of patience in that period of his career.
But respectfully, you could bash him down age 18. Yeah. He's now 41 and the kingpin. How hard is it for everybody else in the team?
We were talking about it before. Mark, he's a billionaire. And I know that he's a billionaire who, to be fair, is still playing football at the age of 41, and he's desperate, and his ego, and that's a good thing. He's a massive. These guys that are like this, and I've said this to Roy before, it's very difficult for me to be able to see how they see football. They've got this maniac, obsessive personality of winners that is like a different level than the norm, and that's where he lives. He lives in that world of superstar that you can't even align yourself with.
Well, you have to take the good and bad, Gary. You have to take the good. We've seen sports people the last 30, 40 years, whatever sport they're in, when you're a genius, you have to take the madness with it. And of course he'll be upset if he's not playing. We've seen Harry Kane would be upset. Messi, all these players get upset, but that won't make them great. There's an edge to them.
Messi's goals will be killing it.
Of course it will be.
Won't
of course it will. They'll be hurting the way the other strikers have started off. But that's what makes them great, because we've been saying for years, Messi and Ronaldo have pushed each other. And that's what you need. We've had it in football teams. The other team challenges. And Ronaldo, no, obviously he's been doubted because of his age, etc. He'll produce, I'm sure of it today.
The big question is, I think Messi, there is a huge love for him in the dressing room. You can see that with Argentina. There's almost this collectiveness around him. I just sometimes wonder whether that's the same with Portugal right now.
It's definitely not, yeah.
That's the big thing. Are his teammates, are they all together, that lot? You know what I mean? We'll see it today.
And that's why he needs better service. We can focus on Ronaldo. Remember, he's part of a team. The guys behind him got to do a little bit better.
Well, there'll also be huge thanks to Messi that he's won him a World Cup. I mean, it's helped win the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? The people at home going, I've got a World Cup winner's medal, and this chap's played a large part.
Cristiano's won tournaments for Portugal as well, so, yeah.
We wouldn't back against him scoring today, that's for sure. Well, it's a new England under Thomas Tuchel, and they will be in action in New England later today. Next, we'll get the latest from the camp, as tens of thousands of supporters have moved up from Dallas to Boston.
Google Pixel sponsors ITV's coverage of the FIFA World Cup.
Need anything from Tesco? Like 3 for £8 finest picky bits. Or 2 for £5 Heinz table sauces. Or 3 for £8 Tesco ready meals. Just scan your club card and watch the prices drop.
Club card accepted.
Because every little helps.
Coming!
Know anyone from 3D?
Englanders don't fear the cold. We embrace it. Once you conquer the cold, obstacles become opportunities. And the harshest environments on Earth become your home. And when that happens, there's nowhere left for the enemy to hide. Royal Marines Commando, it's a state of mind.
This man's killed 2 people in the last fortnight.
His name is Gideon. I know that that name means something to me.
Are you a time traveller or a fortune teller?
Neither. I'm both.
The Devil's Hour, Series 1 and 2. Available now on ITVX.
Google Pixel sponsors ITV's coverage of the FIFA World Cup.
Harry Kane goes level as England's top goal scorer at World Cup. Smashed in by Harry Kane. From Russia with love. Oh, he can score any kind of goal. Harry in a hurry. Well, you weren't going to keep Harry Kane off the score sheet for long. He's one of our own. A record equaling goal for Harry Kane. A gift to the nation.
Harry Kane has got some way to go to catch up Lionel Messi, but the England captain will be looking to add to his 10 World Cup goals against Ghana later this evening. Thomas Tuchel is keen to build on the Croatia performance, as he's been telling Gabriel Clark.
One game, one win. What's your overriding feeling about the Croatia match?
I think the energy was clearly transmitted to our fans, and you saw the synergy in the end, so that's maybe the most important. The commitment, the team spirit, the effort was absolutely visible.
There's no doubt there was a connection. Maybe there's nothing like an England game in a tournament after you've won and won well, and you would have experienced that for the first time.
Yeah.
Has it connected you even more into the English spirit?
Yeah. If there was a more, then there is a more, but I was already very attracted to the English spirit from day one. If you go to a tournament and then it starts finally and then you get it going, is the glue that you need.
Declan Rice said, I knew Thomas was an elite level coach, but the last few days have shown why. Tournament, Thomas.
Tournament, TT tournament, Thomas. Yeah, well, I love it. I love the group of players. I had one of the best weeks of my career. Just love the excitement and the tension and the preparation and the atmosphere in the team, and the quality is so visible. And I'm just so happy that the fans in the stadium and hopefully even like at home saw and felt what I see and feel every day.
What will have to be better against Ghana?
We need to be more precise in our ball possession. We were a bit sloppy in ball wins, ball losses. We dropped a little bit too early from middle block into low block. So these are the things, the main things to improve. The reactions to adversity within the game was excellent, so we're in a good place.
Will you change your starting 11?
Not sure yet. We can, but there's no need to at the moment because we had a 5 days break. Everyone is ready to go again, but players from the side are pushing, so I have all options.
Jude Bellingham, if he plays, will become the youngest England player to 50 caps.
Okay, wow.
22 years old.
Yeah, there will be another 50 very soon on the horizon. I think a tournament and the competition brings the best out of him. It's just his competitive character, and he has the edge. That's just who he is, and it's very special. I saw a very committed Jude to the team idea and to the team spirit, and to fulfill his role to the fullest, which he did.
Wonderwall is coming home. Sweet Caroline, Hey Jude. all possible England anthems.
Yeah.
All played at the end of a game, hopefully, against Ghana.
Yeah, hopefully.
What's your favourite?
I don't mind anything that brings fans and team together. I take it. I mean, Wonderwall was impressive because it was a wall, and it was nice to see the players sing together with the fans, and that was a big reward and a big moment.
Now to make it 2 out of 2.
Exactly.
England fans on their way to the game in Boston as we speak. Gary, it's very nice energy with the crowd, synergy with the crowd. It doesn't score you a goal. Does it mean anything?
It does mean something, Mark, because I've seen it in tournaments where the fans have turned on the team through poor performances. So when you can get the fans with you and you can build up that sort of what will be energy between you. You've seen the Norway fans doing the rowing in sort of, and the Dutch fans. These things do matter in terms of how it impacts the players, because I've seen it on the other side where there's been that disconnection between the fans and the players, and it makes it a harder tournament and it makes it a more painful existence over here. So no, I think it's really important.
I think there's been obviously a big reaction to England's first game. I think the performance, the fact they scored 4 goals, and you do want the fans on side. I'm sure England gets sick of hearing about talking about the Scottish fans or the Irish, all these brilliant fans, and the England fans certainly turn up in numbers. But it's just actually getting behind the team, and the feel-good factor is certainly with him at the moment, but we know in football that can quickly change.
It certainly helps when you start well, doesn't it?
Don't get the bus out just yet.
Just hold on a second, yeah.
It certainly helps when you start well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To get the fans on board.
Yeah.
So they're a great first win, so that gets everybody.
And the manner in which they played, Duncan, as well.
Yeah, no, they
of course,
played well.
everybody wants to win the World Cup, but only one team can. So you want to see your team play in a manner that excites you.
Yeah, I think especially that part in the second half for 15 minutes, they were fantastic, weren't they? They really were, and they should have scored a few more goals. But they scored the amount of goals that they did in their opening game to beat a good team. So, no, it's all positive there for England.
He'll want a bit of the excitement gone today when they beat Ghana, or if they beat Ghana, because some of the excitement of the conceding the goals and then having to go out again, he won't like.
He won't like the chaos.
He won't like the chaos, no. And I think he talked about dropping deep. That ball that got played over their heads, which was a great goal from Croatia, but they were a little bit back in the box. And then the first goal, obviously, they sort of gave the ball away, and then they didn't sprint back and get goal side quickly enough. So.
Sorry, two of their centre midfield players were on the back line.
Yeah.
Two of their centre midfield players were on the back line. So when the ball gets put in for the header, the centre midfield player can't get out. So when he talked about the mid block dropping into a low block, his 2 centre midfield players were playing in the back line. He had 6 across the back. Their midfield players have got to get out. Elliot Anderson, if he'd got out, he'd have stopped that ball. But he's sitting back in the back line, so you need to organise his midfield better than that.
Yeah, but you're going to get setbacks in games. It certainly wasn't perfect from England, but you score 4 goals. Players off the bench had a big impact. They looked good on set pieces, and they reacted well to the setbacks they had in the game. You mentioned that in the interview, and that's a good reflection on the group.
50 caps for Jude Bellingham today, and I hope he has another good game. We can talk about him later. Gary, let's talk about somebody you know well, because he was at Salford for a few seasons, Brandon Thomas Asante, who came off the bench for Ghana to frankly win the game with terrific counter-attack and cross. What sort of character is he?
An amazing character. He's been like this since he was 19 years of age when he came to Salford. He's sharp, he's aggressive, he's direct. He always goes towards goal. I'm really happy for him to think that ultimately where he's come from, he was released by MK Dons at the age of 18 or 19, kicked out of the club basically, picked up by ourselves. Obviously had a couple of years with us. West Brom take a chance, it works, and then he goes to Coventry. It's brilliant for him.
There's actually an analogy, sorry, because Semenyo's the same. Both, on the other side, both have gone non-league to Premier League. That says a lot about their character.
Loads of players like that. That's the journey you're on. You know, a bit of rejection also helps you, makes you more determined. I saw him plenty of times at Salford, and what he is sharp. He mightn't be necessarily lightning quick, but he is sharp in around the box, so he'll be a handful for England.
They're going to be defensive, Carlos Queiroz.
Yeah, you would have thought so, yeah, but obviously that worked in the first game, so Carlos won't change his ways, absolutely not, particularly when you get rewards from the first game. So England attacking players certainly will have to be their best to break them down, but also still be wary of the counter-attack.
I think a clean sheet's really important for England today. And I'm not just being boring there and talking as a defender, but you do need to remove that chaos. And I think if that back four and keeper can come out of there with a clean sheet and get a 1 or 2 goal victory, that would be a perfect day, I think.
We're going to hear the latest from Miami next as Scotland get ready for their 3rd group stage match against Brazil tomorrow. Plenty of the Tartan Army have made the trip to Florida as we see Ronaldo leading out Portugal ahead of a big game in Houston. Before all that, a chance to win a trip to the World Cup final. Time now for your chance to win £75,000 and courtesy of Budweiser. You and a guest will be flying to New York for 3 nights, including accommodation and 2 Category 1 tickets to the final in New Jersey. To enter, go to the website. Entries cost £2.50. Text CUP to 80082 to get 1 entry for £2.50, plus your standard network rate message, or text 5 to 80082 to get 5 entries for £5. plus your standard network rate message. Or post your name and number to Cup 26, PO Box 7558, Derby DE10NQ. Entrance must be 21 or over. Paid entry routes close 10 a.m. Monday the 6th of July. Entrance must be contactable on the 10th of July and for 2 working days after. Good luck.
Google Pixel sponsors ITV's coverage of the FIFA World Cup.
For a while, my world felt small. And my reality was virtual. But then I joined the Navy, and everything changed. My world felt bigger, full of possibilities. Now I have real experiences with real mates, and together we make a real difference. I was born in Paisley, but I was made in the Royal Navy.
Wait, have you been seeing someone else?
Like another dentist?
It's just your mouth that's looking great.
I've had a little help.
Your dentist visit becomes more of a friendly chat when you use the Colgate Total system. It's 15 times more effective at fighting a root cause of many oral health issues. Prevent problems before they start. From the #1 brand recommended by dentists.
The chase is going global. 6 chasers, 6 pairs of contestants, and 1 epic chase. In this game, the more you know, correct, the further you go. If you want to stay in the game, you're going to have to take on the best in the world.
The Chase Around the World starts Thursday at 9 on ITV1 and ITVX.
Google Pixel sponsors ITV's coverage of the FIFA World Cup.
In Houston, Cristiano Ronaldo starts. Of course he does, the Portugal captain. This is cap number 230. No man has played more international football than Cristiano Ronaldo. Ruben Diaz and João Felix also come into the Portugal side for their game with Uzbekistan. We are 44 games into the biggest World Cup ever. Tomorrow marks the halfway point of the tournament in matches. If you've seen every single game, well done. We're not going to ask for proof. We trust you. And if you haven't, well, Adam Richman and Semra Hunter have got you covered.
That we do indeed. Thanks, Poos. Yes, it is day 13 of the World Cup, and there are plenty more weird and wonderful stories that are happening both on and off the pitch. Here's a roundup of what you might have missed across the first 2 rounds of matches. We'll start with England, where they had a nice little visit to their camp. We saw a couple of baseball teams turn out in the form of the St. Louis Cardinals and the Kansas City Royals. But here, of course, we see 2 of the England players having a crack at the sport themselves. Declan Rice pitching to Izzy. Hey, A for effort, but next time maybe try holding on to the bat.
Now, it may have been Father's Day on Sunday. Belated shout out to all the dads out there. But it was motherly love that took center stage this week at the World Cup. World Cup sensation 40-year-old goalkeeper for Cape Verde, Vojinha, was actually reunited with his mom after she was granted a visa and was able to see him in action against Uruguay. But that's not the only mom that we got a chance to see. Check out Mateus Cunha's mom reacting to the brace he scored for Brazil in their 3-0 win over Haiti. Moms are the best. I love you, Mom. You're an absolute queen.
I love that. And speaking of royalty, well, elsewhere, we actually saw the King and Queen of the Netherlands who rocked up to the Curaçao dressing room to celebrate with them what was a historic result after they picked up the first point ever at a World Cup, drawing with Ecuador. Of course, the connection there is that Curaçao is a constituent country of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. So lots of joy, lots of fun and good vibes there. Speaking of other kings, well, the football king of Egypt, Mo Salah, was also leading the festivities after a historic result for themselves, picking up their first ever win at a World Cup. All it took was 92 long years, but they did finally manage to do it. And of course, so delighted were they took to the streets to celebrate with the fans in Vancouver. You can see them Absolutely loving it. And well-deserved too in the end.
Absolutely. Now, a little-known Argentinian football you might have heard of named Lionel Messi just became the all-time leading goal scorer in World Cup history as he notched a brace against Austria. Now, I cannot believe these scenes in Buenos Aires, mostly because it's not Buenos Aires, it's actually Bangladesh. And they love him worldwide. But back home in Argentina, they have erected, I kid you not, an 85-foot, 70-ton statue of the Rosario native, and they just unveiled it to the public.
That certainly is quite a statement piece, you gotta say.
15 times taller than the man himself.
Well, fair enough. Speaking of very spirited fans and excited fans, we've seen our fair share across the three host nations. Obviously, in Boston, there was a lot of love for the Scottish fans. But I tell you what, the Norwegians here in New York, well, they've been giving them a real run for their money, showing off their iconic, legendary Viking row in the subway of Manhattan. But they also took to the streets, too. Times Square here, by the hundreds, but what you don't see is actually in front of them is a yoga class. So could you just imagine this as the backdrop to trying to do a little bit of stretching?
Probably an angry dude dressed as Elmo as well, right nearby them. Now, familiar faces were spotted enjoying some of these World Cup games too. Oh, yes.
Of course, we had Jordan as well too. This was in a 2,000-year-old Roman amphitheater. 6,000 fans turned up. And much was the same in Turkey, down south in the city of Kaş. Unfortunately, they didn't have too much to get excited about as Turkey crashed out. Very disappointing tournament for them, but nonetheless getting to enjoy some wonderful World Cup action in a pretty iconic location.
Now, we actually saw some incredible fun and some surprise guests enjoying the World Cup matches. Here is tech tycoon Bill Gates taking in a match. I am absolutely kidding. That is former Arsenal midfielder Andrei Arshavin partying with the Uzbekistan supporters who love him because he openly selected them as the dark horse to win the World Cup. And of course, right here, we have legendary and highly stylish gaffer Pep Guardiola watching the Scotland and Morocco match, either enjoying this bespoke bagpipe performance or maybe contemplating what color turtleneck he's going to buy next.
Well, I tell you what, talking about animals, we've seen quite a fair few mascots that have really stolen our hearts. Some have gone very viral for just how cute and fluffy they are. Well, of course, you will remember Merlin the Duck from Mexico, but this is Don the Duck leading a bagpipe march in Rhode Island. This is the latest installment of DuckTales and a newfound favourite of the Scottish fans.
Oh, so
very cute.
I think they should fight, ducko on ducko.
Well, in any case, we do love the World Cup for its football, but also the wacky, weird and wonderful ways in which it inspires people to support their nations. We certainly can't wait to see what it throws up next. Boogs?
Thank you very much. That was great. Actually, we need to quick word with Duncan, because the most important thing about that Pep Guardiola thing was, as the man with the kilt puts his foot on the top, I'm thinking, I really hope it's not a myth and that the Scotsman is wearing something underneath that kilt.
I was just thinking, I wonder if he's a true Scotsman.
Yeah.
Because a true Scotsman doesn't wear nothing under that kilt.
That's more than Pep Guardiola was contemplating. Oh, terrific stuff. And Scotland's Tartan Army has provided plenty of memorable moments from their stay in Boston. They've moved down the east coast to Miami, where they face formidable opponents in Brazil tomorrow. Connie McLaughlin has made the journey as well.
Welcome to South Beach. Sunshine, palm trees and some of the most iconic coastline on the planet. Today, though, it's been taken over by the Tartan Army, who are getting very excited about the prospect of facing footballing royalty tomorrow. We saw someone going by us a couple of minutes ago with tartan speedos on, which I think might be a little bit cooler than a kilt, rather them than me. But they know tomorrow it's Vinicius Jr. and Neymar they face for a place in the knockout stages. But there's plenty more fun to have before all of that. I certainly hope they've got their factor 50 on, that's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Connie. Now, it may well be that 3 points is enough for Scotland, as it is to reach the knockout stages. 8 teams still haven't played their second game yet, so it's a little bit complicated. That must not inform the way Scotland go about this, Duncan. They're playing Brazil in a World Cup. That's the bottom line. Yeah, that's it. And they'll have to go for it. As you said, maybe 3 points is enough, but, you know, a point would be enough as well. It would definitely be enough, wouldn't it, if they got 4 points? But no, I think we don't go to that mentality. We've got to try and get something out of the game and try and get on the front foot a wee bit. No just to sit back and soak up all the pressure, because we've got to be a threat. We've got to be a threat, and I think we can be. and haven't been enough of a threat recently, Scotland. That's the truth.
Yeah, it's been tough going for them, and obviously that's understandable. Even the first game where they're expected to win, but the second game, yeah, I do agree. I think they'd be more positive in your play. They might obviously won't have much possession, but trying to take a bit more risk in their play. I think it's going to be obviously a really tough game because Brazil look like they're getting in the zone, they're getting in the mood, but when they're in possession, show a bit of courage and a bit of bravery.
Well, they've got Ben Gannon-Doak, who played really well against Haiti, who came on against Morocco. Maybe a time to start him, just to change the emphasis of things, Gary.
It's the old thing, isn't it, when you've got a talented player and you want to obviously get him in the game, but then you're thinking, well, if we can just hang in there and be 0-0 or 1-0 down or whatever it might be, and he comes on with half an hour to go when maybe the legs are a little bit tired and fatigued in the opposition, he'll be more devastating for us and he'll have more impact. So it's a challenge. Does he start him? Does he not start him?
I think that's too late, Gary. I think don't be waiting for something to happen. And what it might be doing, it might necessarily be about going past people, but get you up the pitch, win a free kick, give you a breather. And we talk about putting pressure on young players, but as we've said before, a lot of these young players play with no fear. So I don't know if I'd be waiting. I think if
it'd be a message as well to start him.
Yeah, I think if you're playing, just start him. Why not?
I think he's very unlucky to find himself out the team. He played really well in the first game. He was the threat. So, but it took him out for the second game. So I think for us, we need to get him back in it to be that threat. He's young, he's enthusiastic, he's brave on the 1v1s, and he can give that delivery to the strikers.
Yeah, and I think sometimes the other players want that. You want somebody to go up who's a bit braver, again, to give you a little bit of breather. It's not about doing anything fantastic, but just get you up the pitch. You might win your free kick and give you a little bit of a breather, because they'll obviously be under lots of pressure.
Well, you as a striker, you'd want him playing, wouldn't you? Because of the way he stretches defence.
Absolutely, he's got that wee bit of pace. He can go left or right. I wasn't quite sure what foot he kicked with, to be honest, when I was watching the clips, you know what I mean? Because he's actually good on both sides, but stronger on his right. So definitely he can be the supply link, can't he? He can be that wee bit of magic that we need.
Would you start him, Duncan?
I would start him, definitely. And the only problem is we've got is what side you play him on. Because you've got to be worried about defensive as well. You've got Vinicius Junior on that side, and we need to stop him. So how does he stop him? So either we put McGinn on that side, or Dokes goes on that side, or he goes to a back five to try and stop him, because he's the key player for Brazil.
I know, but you've got to have some sort of threat, Duncan, don't you?
Yeah.
We spoke about defensive with your goal done after 70 seconds. You do need to have someone in your team to go past somebody or get you up that pitch.
Interesting that we've been talking about Cristiano Ronaldo and Roberto Martinez. You know Carlo Ancelotti very well as well, because he was assistant manager at Everton. It's interesting that he hasn't had this problem with Neymar so far, because Neymar's been injured.
Right.
So, actually, you know, in the sense of he hasn't had this, because all the pressure in Brazil was, is he going to be in the squad? And he hasn't played for Brazil since 2023. So, in a way, that problem at the moment is removed for him, isn't it?
Yeah. Do we know when he's going to be fit, Neymar?
Well, he's not. We don't think he's fit for tomorrow, for certain, yeah.
Right, OK.
And maybe he was only ever going to be a super sub, which would be the difference to Ronaldo.
Yeah. I wonder if Neymar would be different for Ronaldo. Yeah. Maybe on the bench. Maybe Neymar understood that he's not going to be fit for the tournament, so they understood that. But he's going to have to be fit sometime in the tournament, surely.
And the difference is Brazil are winning, and obviously, well, the last game, and they're scoring goals. So that has been taken care of for him.
But Mark, I think if Vinicius Junior, Cunha, players like that played for Portugal, Cristiano might be on the bench. I think the fact is, if you look at Portugal's sort of what will be backup strikers and forwards, they're not at the level of the Brazilian forwards. So I think that's one of the big problems, and maybe the thing that Roberto Martinez will point towards is, yeah, but I get he's not scored, but who's a better goal scorer than him in the long term? No one, because the guys behind him they're not the top-level players.
As we said, Ramos and Guedes haven't done it domestically. No. So, in a sense, it's a lot easier for Roberto Martinez to keep the team as he is. Against Uzbekistan, who take on Portugal in around about 25 minutes' time. And they'll be hoping to draw inspiration from fellow World Cup debutants Curacao, Cape Verde and Jordan, who have all enjoyed their time in the global limelight. We'll see if the first Central Asian country ever to qualify can make their mark very soon.
Google Pixel sponsors ITV's coverage of the FIFA World Cup.
Got a good feeling about this one, Roy.
Me too, Micah. Me too. It's football. That's his job.
Get a completely free bet on England's quarter-final game. The world's gone football. Get in on it with Sky Bet.
Everyone has dreams. But what seems impossible at first could soon become a reality.
Ready, Dad?
Is it time to take your leap? We're ready when you are.
3, 2,
14 million customers trust Lloyds with their aspirations.
It's your turn now, Dad.
Bank on Lloyds.
You never know when or how heartburn and indigestion might strike, whether it's chest burning, acid reflux, or stomach discomfort. So take Gaviscon Double Action. It acts fast to neutralise acid and form a protective barrier for long-lasting relief. For the 1,000,001 ways it may surprise you, there's only one Gaviscon.
We've always loved to watch, to be part of a moment.
Beckham strikes.
Because when something speaks to us, to who we are, that's somewhere we'll always belong. There's no place like ITV.
Google Pixel sponsors ITV's coverage of the FIFA World Cup.
Uzbekistan head coach Fabio Cannavaro has had plenty of World Cup ups and downs. He was a winning captain with Italy in 2006, before being in the ITV studio 8 years later in Rio, where he was with Patrick Vieira and one Martin O'Neill.
What you're seeing now is an older gentleman, you know, but I did actually play the game at one time. Fabio wasn't terribly sure that I did. I had to remind him that, despite the fact there's 2 World Cup winners here, actually, when it comes to the Champions League, it used to be called the European Cup. I've won 2 of them. I'd just like to know how many you 2 have won. But brilliant. and I was braver.
He did his homework.
And I was braver in the wall than you suggest. The Martin O'Neill you know so well.
He does like reminding people that he's won a few big prizes, and rightly so, because people do forget. So yeah, lovely piece there.
Yeah, won 2 European Cups when you had to win the league, all the European Cups to qualify. That was quite
no
something.
doubt, he knows the game, Martin.
What a player Fabio Cannavaro was, wasn't he? I think he was player of that World Cup in many ways.
Oh, outstanding, and I think of him as being sort of a smallish centre back, but absolutely lightning quick, love defending, typical Italian. And we're going to talk about Kusanov, and there's actually a little bit of a similarity. And Kusanov has got great traits in terms of his speed and his commitment to win the ball, but if anything, he just needs to sort of slow down a little bit, and we're going to see clips of him here. He's brilliant in the channel marking against players. He gets there, he's like a rash. I think Cannavaro is probably somebody that he could learn a lot of, because he does lunge in at times.
Is he a bit rash, Kusanov?
He is rash, and he commits, but I tell you what, he is lightning quick, one of the quickest that you'll see, and he developed a really good partnership with Gay at the end of the season. Mark, when he first started at City, by the way, he was like a startled rabbit. He was well off it, but he's improved.
That game at Chelsea, he gave away a goal in the first 10 minutes.
He's improved a lot.
He's aggressive.
Settled down now, isn't he?
Yeah, of course.
Looks like a more established player. Very quick,
but
as
you
said.
You kind of want, obviously, they're brilliant traits to have as a centre-half. And the more games he plays, again, sometimes your decision-making is about just slowing down at the right time. We've seen him here. Look.
This is him.
There you go. Listen.
He never seems to get hurt, does he?
Oh, he's a strong boy, look. Yeah, he looks
but that's
shape.
He will get red cards, him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because that's the bit that Cannavaro's speaking to him now. That's the bit that he just needs, that little bit of maturity.
That's experience, yeah. He gained that with experience.
I think it'll be difficult for Ronaldo, won't it? With him.
Oh, he'll be up.
He'll be right up for it. He'll be sticking to him, won't he? He'll be making sure that he doesn't give Ronaldo any space there.
A lot of centre-backs aren't comfortable going out into the wide channel. He's very comfortable out there defending.
If you're just getting home from work or whatever you've been doing, I know it's very, very hot at home. Just to remind you of the teams then. Portugal have made a couple of changes from the side that drew with DR Congo. João Felix replaces Bernardo Silva, and Ruben Diaz comes in at centre-back. And we've just been talking about Uzbekistan. They lost 3-1 to Colombia in their first game. Cannavaro makes 3 changes. The most newsworthy is in goal. Abduvaid Nematov comes in. He didn't play at all in the qualifiers. Diaz, Man City colleague, we've just been talking about, Kusanov starts at centre-back. Is Nuno Mendes, they've got 3 Champions League winners in their team, Portuguese. Is Nuno Mendes, as much as anybody, going to give them a bit of width? Is he going to give them a bit of something the other way?
Well, we're just talking about Cristiano and what would happen if he had 2 really good wide players servicing him outside. They're OK, the wide players, but they're not outstanding. But Nuno Mendes, he might be the guy that could deliver. If he just gets forward on that left-hand side, he's lightning quick. He could be the supplier for Cristiano that he needs to get those goals. He's an outstanding player.
We speak of getting wide positions, getting the ball to the box, and Ronaldo to hang around in there. But also, when you start looking at people like Bruno behind him, we know how brilliant Bruno is, and maybe he needs to find that service. Because Ronaldo, when he makes that movement, it's about finding him. I'm not a big fan of Felix. He's up there to support him. I've never been his biggest fan. A bit of a journeyman, talented kid, but no conviction in his play.
I'd like to see Mendes going outside. So in the last game, he's internal and inside the structure, and he's running inside runs. So I think in this game, he needs to go on the outside, overlap. He needs to overlap on the outside so that he can get the crosses.
Felix is going to go inside, probably, isn't it? Because it's not his natural game to go outside.
But in the last game, he was making inside runs. Yeah. He was in that that left back position as they go inside, don't they? Then they make the run. He should be going on the outside to get the crosses in.
And they scored a great goal the other night from across. I know it's one of the midfielders, so never shy away from it. If you get the ball wide, put the ball in the box, and it's up to the attackers to get bodies in there and obviously be aggressive, and they do have that quality to finish it off.
It's become a fad, Roy, isn't it? These full-backs going inside. I don't know how Gary feels about that. He'd have felt like going inside there. When you just went on the outside, didn't you, traditionally, and got across, and or you supported from behind?
Do you know something, Duncan? One of the first full-backs that I actually remember going inside was a full-back that played on the opposite side to me, was Patrice Evra. And Patrice used to make, he never used to do the overlapping runs, he used to do the underlap. And I used to think, guys, and all of a sudden now every single fullback either comes into midfield to get on the ball or they run in there. Very few of them actually do that.
And when you do get into wide position, it doesn't always have to be a great cross, as we've seen. It's just about putting the ball in the right areas, and then there's the question marks on the defenders or get enough bodies in to attack it.
It'll be so interesting to see what happens this afternoon, particularly with the Ronaldo story. Houston, the venue for this one then. Once more for Portugal, 6 days after they drew with DR Congo there, the home stadium of the Houston Texans NFL team, and it's red once again. And it's ITV7 time now, and £95,000 in jackpots has already been given away this tournament. Easy to enter. You can download the ITV7 app or go to itv.com/ITV7 and answer 7 questions. Entries are free. You must be 18 or over to enter. The app is available on iOS and Android devices. You can only enter once per match, and entries close at kickoff.
Google Pixel sponsors ITV's coverage of the FIFA World Cup.
Oh my God, I'm back again. On Betfair Casino, everybody spin. Gonna bring new games, gonna show you now. New game party. Find new games, that's right. On Betfair Casino tonight.
Weekly new releases on Betfair Casino. Out now.
We don't do soccer songs. We don't do halftime entertainment. And we don't do octopodial predictions. But that looks tasty. We just stick to what we do best. A Bet Builder winnings boost on all remaining World Cup matches. Available on app and in shop. William Hill, nothing but the bets.
So? When you search the UK's largest choice of homes, you can believe it too. Rightmove.
Growing up like we do, life isn't obstacle-free.
Y'all need to teach about brotherhood. How did this get so messy so fast? Welcome to high school, man.
Cleo could be that spark that we are missing.
Getting this glimpse into another world. Just gotta keep leaning on hope.
All American, available now on ITVX.
Google Pixel sponsors ITV's coverage of the FIFA World Cup.
The context to this game in Houston is the fact that Colombia lead Group K and Portugal have got to play Colombia in the last group match. That's this weekend on Saturday. Roy, I do want to ask you about Vitinho and Neves, who won the Champions League with PSG. These two are so good. They keep the ball away from you in a phone box.
They're not bad, aren't they? They're not bad. Technically outstanding. They like to take it in tight areas. Their decision-making. Oh, these are two amazing players. Absolutely fantastic. Love watching them. Talk about what you wanted from a central midfielder. Composure, quality. And again, particularly in tight areas, fantastic.
They're the modern-day equivalent of Xavi and Iniesta, aren't they? Sort of like the two diminutive midfield players who just run the show. But it's going to be about him. We know that at the end of the game. It's such a big day for Portugal. They've got to win the match, but I think importantly to settle everybody down, not just in Portugal, but just around the world, Cristiano scoring would be important, I think.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Listen, I know he's had his critics out there, but you want Ronaldo, and he would have been looking at all the other top strikers turning up, scoring goals. I think it'd be great for him to get him up and running and score a couple today, maybe.
Come on, Ronaldo, get to the party, eh?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's been such a great World Cup in the sense, if you look alone at the race for the Golden Boot, it's fascinating. And, you know, he's the only one that's missing just at the moment. You mentioned João Felix, Roy, that he's underachieved a bit. Over £200 million worth of transfer fees.
Yeah, and he's just never really settled it. I mean, obviously he was at Atletico, I think he played 90-odd games, but every other club, he's been on loan a few times, he never seems to settle down. And that can happen to one or two clubs. When it's 4 or 5 clubs, you know, that's why you've doubts over him. He does have qualities, but we just don't see enough of him. Whether he can work his magic with Ronaldo today, club mates might have a bit of chemistry together, who knows?
Pedro Neto, the other side, is more orthodox wide player, Duncan, so if Ronaldo was looking from a service, that's where more tradition, if you like, it should come from.
That's certain. You can get some crosses in from, and because Ronaldo's fantastic in the air, isn't he? I mean, the difference between Ronaldo and Messi at the moment is that Ronaldo's playing on the last line, and he's not dropping in and getting involved in the play. So Messi's coming in late to the box, and Ronaldo's already on the last line. So if Ronaldo was to come in a wee bit deeper and then join in, then from there, he might get himself a few more goals.
But there's a problem, Duncan, for a striker when obviously Portugal dominated a lot of possession.
Yeah.
Is that harder for a striker to make some space for himself?
Yeah, possible. I think Argentina dominated as well, didn't they, Roy? But I mean, you can see the difference.
But as you said, but Messi comes deeper. Ronaldo's kind of maybe already up there. Is that easier to mark, maybe?
Yeah, that's right. I think it's difficult. It's difficult for him to get the goals then, isn't it?
It's amazing that we're basically not even talked about the best player in the Premier League last season, Bruno Fernandes, and he's playing there for Portugal, and he literally goes almost like anonymous because of Ronaldo and the focus and the sort of way in which obviously everybody sort of scrutinises what that man does. And
Bruno needs to turn up today.
Yeah, Bruno needs to. Look, Bruno's a massive player in big games. He does turn up, so he's got to deliver today for Ronaldo and for Portugal.
Well, let's see what happens then. So let's join our commentary team in Houston, Lee Dixon, and first, hello to Sam Matterface.
Hello, Mark. Good evening, everyone. Back home, we are back in Texas. The 1 star on the flag and 1 star on the lips of everyone from Houston to Lisbon and everywhere in between. It's not all about him. If Portugal want to win the World Cup, it can't be. But it feels like it's the only subject in town. Whether the greatest player Portugal has ever produced should be in the team has been a constant question since the drab opener against DR Congo. But he's here, he plays, and knowing Cristiano Ronaldo, he'll have something to say about it. Today's opponents are Uzbekistan, Central Asia's first ever side at a finals. Portugal should ensure they bite the dust pretty quickly, but that level of complacency was exactly what cost them against DR Congo. The stage is set. Ronaldo is poised to take the spotlight after the national anthems.
Please remain standing if you are able for the playing of the national anthem of Uzbekistan.
It's high noon in Houston. Portugal and Ronaldo determined to prove that this town is big enough for the both of them. Stay with us.
Google Pixel sponsors ITV's coverage of the FIFA World Cup.
You want £1 million.
Love £1 million.
So you enter the birthday draw from ITV and Global. It's a weekly draw and only £1 to enter. And since January, we've made over 50,000 winners. So take a chance on the only weekly draw where you can win £1 million for just £1.
Yes, yes! Let's go, baby!
I love being rich!
Turn £1 into £1 million with the birthday draw. Enter before midnight on Sunday.
Skipping breakfast is best.
Breakfast is the most important meal.
Knowing what's good for you is confusing. At Alpro, we keep things simple. Plant-based goodness enriched with 5 essential nutrients to get the morning started. Alpro, healthy made easy. And make mealtimes easy with new Alpro Meal to Go. Time saved, taste served.
Oh, the good life. Full of fun. Seems to be the ideal.
And relax.
Get more me time. When you save with Compare the Market, the simplest way to save.
Jamie Vardy is going to leave Leicester City onto the next chapter.
Italy.
It's been a really tough 5 years. You either love me or you hate me.
5 armed guys.
He has to decide whether we are staying or we're going back to England.
The Vardys, available now on ITVX. Google Pixel sponsors ITV's coverage of the FIFA World Cup.
It's so hot back here in Houston. The real field temperature is 41 degrees, almost as hot as it is in Manchester today. Our referee is Jalal Jayed, and the VAR team 4 hours away in Dallas is led by Leodan Gonzalez of Uruguay, where it's also hot. But in this stadium, it's a cool climate because of the adjusted roof which sits over the top of the Houston Stadium. It means it's 21 degrees in here. Right, let's get you to the two teams, and let's start with Portugal. You know the main headline. That's Ronaldo. He's starting despite very few touches against DR Congo. João Felix will play off the left, but he'll drift infield so Nuno Mendes can overlap. He's one of 2 changes, but maybe the return of Ruben Diaz at the heart of the defence might be more significant going forward, Lee Dixon.
Yeah, as they go through the tournament, they're going to need to be defensively strong. Everybody's been talking about Ronaldo, and he certainly needs service. I think it's very wide, very difficult for him to produce stuff on his own. He needs the wide areas, he needs supply line, crosses in the box, as the boys said.
Let's have a look at Uzbekistan, 5 at the back, and apologetically so Kusanov, the Manchester City defender, is the star of the team. The right wing-back, the 18-year-old Berkruz Karimov, was born in 2007, which was the year that Ronaldo won his first Ballon d'Or. 3 changes, including the goalkeeper, who dropped a tame effort from Luis Diaz in the first game.
Well, they know that Portugal are under pressure, and leaving no gaps will be the key for them, and certainly they're a tough bunch, no tougher than Manchester City's Kusanov.
Roberto Martinez has had to circle the wagons. The mood in Portugal is hostile, questions over his tactics, his choices. There has been a social media storm that has seen some fake quotes spark beef between wives and girlfriends, all very noisy, all very unnecessary. It can't afford to be all very distracting. Roberto Martinez will be leaving at the end of the World Cup. How he signs off with Portugal may define the next chapter of his career and the final chapter of a superstar. Fabio Cannavaro knows that Uzbekistan will be knocked out if they lose here, and the DR Congo beat Colombia later today in Guadalajara. There are no easy games, said the Portugal boss yesterday, only ones that become easy.
Well, they've got to win, simple as that, from Portugal's point of view, from a confidence point of view as well as points. And as Cristiano Ronaldo is under pressure, this team is under pressure to get some points.
The electric and direct Pedro Neto trying to find the first escape route. Held up by Rustam Shurmatov, who plays in Iran.
Yeah, you can see the shape perfect there from Uzbekistan. 5-4-1, not apologising for it, they're just going to fill gaps. It's about where they set their back line, make sure there's not an awful lot of space there, but also putting pressure in front of them.
Well, yesterday in Dallas, it felt like a religious gathering as Messi put on a show. It's not far off that here, is it, Lee? I mean, in the warm-up, the cries of Sue whenever Ronaldo smashed a shot in were deafening.
Yeah, I mean, the difference between their games at the moment is on there for everybody to see. I think as Ronaldo gets a little bit older, I mean, he's 41, he goes closer to the goal. Messi comes deeper and plays from a midfield area, and then late runs, as Duncan Ferguson said, is completely different.
Pedro Neto. Vitinha. Back to the Chelsea wide man again, and then an opportunity to smash the ball through the box by Bruno Fernandes.
Well, I wrote down in notes from the studio what they were saying, how many times they mentioned getting the crosses in the box. Fernandes recognising that he needs supply, the number 7.
They started on the front foot here, an opportunity to twist and turn and get it back to Bruno Fernandes. Great turn, couldn't find the finish. Looks like it took a little flick on the way through. But it's a bright Portuguese start to the game. Energy and tempo right from the very off.
Yeah, pressure. When the ball falls to the number 8, Fernandes creates his own space there with a little Cruyff turn. Just falling back on it. Abduliev just gets something on it for the corner.
That's more like it from Portugal. That's what the Portuguese fans that have come here, an almost collective worship experience, come here to see. Fernandes, tossed in by João Cancelo, played his football with Barcelona last year. We bumped into a lad in Miami, didn't we, who spent his month's salary on making a pilgrimage to Houston today to come and see his idol. Can you imagine if he hadn't started?
I don't think there was any doubt in him starting. You've got a world-class player like him. Yes, he's 41, but the pressure on Martinez to play him, you leave him out and you don't win the game, all sorts. I think it was the right thing to do.
João Felix. Nuno Mendes bursting into that gap, looking for Ronaldo at the far post. Oh! Didn't get the contact and he smashes the ground in frustration. He was that far away.
What a move. Mendes cross, brilliant. João Felix, beautiful little ball. That's a peach of a cross. Do you know what? I mean, it's easy to say. Look at his stride pattern. I think Gary Neville was talking about his stride pattern earlier. Yes, it was close. I think the last World Cup he would have got that. I know it's easy to say, but it's just he got long in his stride instead of shorter to get his foot up, put it in an open goal. Great move.
It's been a long time coming, his next major tournament goal. He hasn't scored from open play at a major tournament, Cristiano Ronaldo, since the group stage of Euro 2025 years ago.
Mendes has got great left foot, and he wasn't even thinking about anything but just whipping it into the box. Almost on a play for him.
Felix. Bruno Fernandes looking to reverse that back into the centre, which eventually he does. The Uzbek escape is the very briefest of ones, and they do get a little bit of respite with a throw-in on this near side. Ganiev, who is usually unhurried.
This is the creating of the space with a little flick, and just good defending, it really is. Throw themselves, it's close.
Shomurodov tried to escape there, the captain of Uzbekistan, who plays in Istanbul.
There's no doubt this Portuguese side has got some senior players in this team, and they'll understand the importance of keeping this pressure on, because when you've got somebody down on the floor, you keep them down there, and at the moment they're floundering, Uzbekistan.
Neto trying to keep his foot on the gas, trying to get the better of Musrailev over on that far side. João Cancelo backing him up. Cancelo going wide in towards Ronaldo! Did you ever really think that he was going to leave the stage quietly? Listen to that noise! Cristiano Ronaldo might not have been at his best recently, but he's just become the first man ever to score at 6 World Cups. He means business. Look at him. Never in doubt.
Well, I wish you at home were in this stadium now, because you can feel the tension just been released. Palpable. Hairs on the back of your neck. Everybody who loves football will be pleased that he scored this. Cancelo, brilliant run down and just whips it into an area. It's the movement. He gets across in front of his defender. Abdullayev thinks he's got it, he hasn't. Cristiano Ronaldo's on your shoulder, and look at that smile. Not as big as Cristiano's, but nearly.
Look who's talking now. That's what they came here to see.
Absolutely. He's pumped up now, he wasn't before. You know what, Sam, as well, you know, when the ball's going wide and you're in the box at his age, you don't need to be flat out sprinting. He's just clever. He just looks at the defender and he goes, yeah, you're thinking it's coming, well, I'll just wait a little second, and he nips in front. And the timing of the cross, or the timing of his run on the cross, is absolute perfection.
Vega comes across, gets there ahead of Cruz Karimov, the 18-year-old, one of 5 teenagers who played in the first round of this World Cup. Even the Uzbekistan supporters are still smiling. They're delighted just to be here. They're writing their first sentences in their World Cup history books. Central Asia's first nation ever at a World Cup. Back home, the president pushed the start of the working day back so the country could watch the opener. They built fan zones in the schools across all 208 districts. Whatever happens here, it is a tournament that a generation of Uzbekistan football fans will remember. Nuno Mendes. They've already put 5 crosses into the box in this game, which tells you that they changed the approach slightly.
Well, it tells me that they've been listening to our studio, because that's what they've been talking about before the game.
Well, they were pretty impotent in the game against DR Congo. Lots of passes, not enough shots.
Like Roy said, it isn't rocket science. You put defenders under pressure, you put the ball in the box. If you supply somebody like Cristiano Ronaldo, you're going to get a return. He didn't get any of that in the first game. They were pass, 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 pass. And all of a sudden now they're putting balls in the box and creating chances.
If it was rocket science, they'd be in the right place.
Do you think that's not why I said it? No.
And obviously, yes. Another chance for a ball in the box here. Bruno Fernandes is taking charge. Ronaldo at the back post. Pedro Neto just further outside. Ruben Diaz has come up from the back, so has Renato Vega. There's a few ringing the edge of the box as well, which might be dangerous. Bruno Fernandes, the punch away by the new goalkeeper. Comes back to João Cancelo. Well blocked in the end.